Hello everyone, this is Teacher Wayne and I'm continuing my vlog on making a zombie game. Right, the last thing that we did is we got, I was working on the HUD. I'll just clear all this message up here. We're working on the HUD. I got a little dot appearing. I got various bits and pieces working. So I just want to add another element now. So what was I talking about in the last video? Right, we've got three prefabs. We've got a zombie prefab, we've got a player prefab, and we've got the HUD prefab. And the HUD, the last thing I did is I added the middle little bit in the middle, the reticule. If I look at this thing here, you've got the little middle bit there, the little reticule where you can aim at. And what we want to do is we want to get it so that we can fire some weapons at the bad guys. So we're going to add some various bits and pieces to get that working. I've had a little play myself just to remind myself how to do this, so I'm just jumping in after I've sort of had a little play, and I found some fairly serious errors that I had, that I struggled with, that are fairly easy to solve, and hopefully I can save you a lot of time myself by doing them. So what we want is we want to be able to fire our gun at this zombie. And if you remember, we have got, the last thing we did is we set in the HUD manager, we got 10 bullets, and we set the shoot so that it actually reduces the number of bullets. We've got no way of returning the number of bullets, so I'm going to quickly add a function, public void num of bullets, and it just returns the bullets numbers to I'm going to put the word num there, that'll be n. It's going to return bullet number. We're going to return that fact. So that will return the number of bullets. We're going to need that later. Are you going to work? Public int. That'd be a good idea because we're returning an int. So that should return this bullet number. Awesome. So now in the player script here, what we need is we're going to be firing out, let's have a look, we're going to be firing out bullets. Now these bullets are actually going to be objects, but they're actually a special type of object called this going to be using something called particle effect physics. The particles, there's quite some good particles effects that we can have in this game, but I've already made one up. I've called it a hit marker, and I'm going to quickly move it across, and then I'll explain what I've done when I've done it, and then you can create it yourself. Actually quite straightforward, so just give me a minute here to actually find it. Where is it? Hit marker. So here's my hit marker. Now this hit marker, all it really is it's this particle system here. I think if we can create a, is it here? Here we are, particle system. There it is. It's this sort of concept here. It's a particle system. All I've done is use that particle system there. Oops, hit marker. And I've made it so that it makes it much more like a bullet. I've had to play with the emissions and the shape. If I drag it to the, as you can see, oops. So look at that one. I'll put it right in the middle. I'm going to delete that. Find the zombie. Let's drag a particle effect there. Let's zoom it up a bit. So there it is. We press play here and go in game. Oh, won't work. It's basically, this is our particle here. Doesn't last very long, but it just gives an effect of a bullet being shot. I'm just going to get rid of it. I shall put this as an asset. I'll export this along with the script that goes with it, because there's a script. The script is very simple actually, you can write it yourself quite easily. In fact, I'll do that now, the script that works with it. I'm going to create a new script. I'm going to call it hit marker. I'm going to open it up. All this script does is, because you don't want these scripts lasting a very long time, you want them to be quite short. We want them sort of to run and to start. We don't need the update bit. All we need is the start section. What we want is it to start and then to destroy itself after a certain period of time. So we click destroy, open brackets, this game object, game object. I'm going to put a time frame. We just want it to last for 1 second. So when it's created this object, and the object is like a particle effect on the game, it lasts for 1 second. Really simple. So if we find our I think I put in prefabs. Oops. Prefabs. There's my hit marker there. Script says missing. I'm just going to literally add hit marker. There it is. So I've added hit marker to it. So now when it will last for 1 second maximum, and then go and then destroy itself when it's been created. So it's an object that we're going to create for a second, and then it will just give me a moment, will last for 1 second, then go. So I'll fire these bullets off. What the effect of bullets off. Okay, so let's get back to my other script. And the other script that we're going to be doing is going to be the player script. So in the player script, just open it up again, we're going to be creating some functions on this. First of all, we need to connect to this hit marker, so we're going to literally copy and paste here, but we're going to be using our hit marker one now. So this is private, and we're going to be doing we're going to be accessing an object. So we're going to access in private game object. Oops, what's it doing? Game object. I'm going to call it hit marker. So we're creating an object called hit marker. So that's what this here, we're going to link to this object here. Now I'm going to just hopefully save it. You're going to save this? There it is. So I can literally go prefabs. I'm just going to drag my hit marker to it. So there's my hit marker. I've actually dragged and dropped it there. So we've linked to it. We'll do that to begin with before we even do anything else. Save script, save scene, that's it. So I'm trying to do. So let's go back to my player. Oops, wrong one. So now we've got an access to an object here in the scene. I've put it in prefabs, hit marker. I'm going to create a new function called shoot. So void shoot. So we're going to call this, and when we do this, we're going to hit things. We're going to introduce the concept called rays. And I'm just going to open up this. Sorry, wrong one. Where is it? There we are. I'm going to drag this across. Rays. We're going to use this concept called raycasting here. This is the documentation for Unity, and if you can see, it actually gives you some script. I'm going to be basically doing this script here, but I'm not going to be using mouse position. I'm going to be doing it to the center of the screen where the reticule is. So that bit's the bit that's changed, but basically I'm going to use all this script here. If you want to ever find anything, you can just use Unity documentation, put in the version that you're in, and just search the thing. And I just searched raycasting and got this. So I'm using that script here. Just give me a moment. Oops, wrong button. There we go. Just trying to find the right section. Got loads of games up. There we are. So I'm going to put in that script that I was just showing you, and I'm going to now work on that. So first thing we need to do is we need to check the ammunition. Now in the HUD manager we've got a function called number of bullets here. We're going to, as we shoot, we're going to do a shoot first. So we're going to do a HUD dot shoot. So you're going to shoot, so that will reduce the bullets, and then we're going to go and if number of bullets, so that function there, if number of bullets, got in a function, it's actually HUD dot number of bullets, is greater than naught, then we'll do something. If we don't have the bullets, we can't shoot. So simple little check there. Now we're going to do this raycast business, and I'm going to just copy and paste some code across, and then I'll explain what I've done after I've copied it. So I'll explain this code, and I'll stretch it out so you can read it all. So ray origin, so we're going to shoot a ray out, and it's going to go basically, in layman's terms, to the center of the screen. We're shooting a ray out to the center of the screen. Anything, any object it's going to collide with, we'll get some information on. So basically we're sending this invisible line to the center of the screen, which is why if you look here, it's the screen width divided by 2 and the height divided by 2. That's all that means. So we're checking, when we shoot, we're checking the center of the screen to see what objects there in a visit, and then we need some ray information. So if the ray cast hit that one there, and we're going to have a variable called hit info. So what do we hit? What did we hit? Let's just check that. So we do that by using this thing. We're going to do an if in brackets physics, because this is the actual how it's done, physics dot raycast. Just make sure I've got the spelling right, raycast, and then it's going to be ray origin, which is what we have up there. The raycast to the center of the screen, out, hit info. Anyways, have we hit anything? That's all that's saying is, have we hit anything at all? If we've hit something, well, what is it? Well, first one, let's just do a debug log. Debug dot log. Let's just output it. Real simple. So we've hit something plus hit info dot transform dot name. So it'll just say what I've hit. There you are. So I'm not actually damaging it, I'm just checking to see if I've hit something here. Checking bullets, shooting things. So what I want to do is, now I want to be able to, if I click a mouse button, do it. So I need a way of activating this shoot routine. So we're just going to simply do if input, so remember mouse button is get mouse button, and 0 is the button we want to check, then shoot. Oops, call that function shoot. Really simple. Press play. Alright. Oh, we're getting null exception errors. Now I know what this one is from experience, and this one error drove me up the wall for a long time. Basically, you got, I'll just go through the things, is this, my code is fine. There's nothing wrong with my code or your code. The problem is going to be this. I'll show you. There's no documentation on this. It took me ages to figure out. You go to main camera, you see it says untagged. All you do is you tag it to main camera and you save it. I don't know why. There's no documentation of why this is a problem. It's just a bug with Unity, I think. Press play now. Right. Hit. Oh yeah. There we are. Can you see at the bottom it says hit terrain? My mouse is giving me problems here. I think I've run out of bullets. Let's have a look. Hit terrain 9 times. Yeah, right, fair enough. I ran out of bullets. Press play. So it does work. I want it to say hit zombie. He's moonwalking. That's interesting. I'll have to have a look at that. Hit terrain. Oh, it's firing too quickly. I'm gonna have to increase my bullet things, because it's very hard to know if anything is actually working. And I'm not seeing this. Oh yes, because I'm not producing this hit marker yet. What I'm doing is firing bullets. There's my wrong button. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. I've got messed up here. Scripts. Is it HUD manager? Number of bullets. Let's make it 100 bullets. I've increased the bullets massively. Press play. I just want to see it says zombie. Mouse. Console. Hit terrain 99 times. It's still too hyper reactive. Should hit the flipping zombie. Why are you not hitting a zombie? Hitting the terrain. That's interesting. I can only hit his feet. Let's have a look at the zombie. Oh, hang on. What's this down here? What is that? So it's not the agent. Oh, it's a capsule collider. Center. Let's move the center up to there. And let's increase the radius. This is what I'm actually hitting, is the capsule collider. And the height, I want it so that there. That, you don't want to make it too easy to hit it, but you don't want it so you're shooting his ankles. Let's have a look. Hitting the train. Zombie, 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 zombie. Bang, train, 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 zombie. Yeah, it's working. Made me a bit nervous, that did. Wonder what was happening. And it was the capsule collider. So the capsule collider is what we're actually checking for contact with. And I've got it around where I want to hit. Useful to know. Wasn't actually sure myself until then. So now we have got it so that actually we can get it so that it checks. Wrong one. We've got it so that it hits the zombie. So now we want to hurt the zombie. So let's go to the zombie. Oh, hang on, before I do that, I want to make it 100 bullets because I think 10 is not quite enough. AI behavior. It's got a health. this zombie as a health. So it's got, I've actually already put in a death routine, which is quite handy, but I want it to take damage now. So I want to put a public void take damage. So it's going to take some damage now. If a zombie is hitting, we're going to call this routine called it's going to reduce the health by 1. Health minus minus. That reduces the health by 1, and we say if the health is less than 0, then the zombie dies. But that's not actually going to kill. I've copied and pasted the I've copied and pasted the, why has it got a funny little underline? I mean that as a public, that needs to be public at all, that can be void. Then we're going to need to create another one called, I'm just going to call it zombie dies. Zombie dies. And then we want to destroy ourselves. Look at the hit marker, we've got this here. So we can put that in. It's going to call the animation. I've got a feeling this might not work very well because I've got a feeling, let's give it 5 seconds. I've got a feeling that was it whinging about that? Oh yeah. So I'm going to put brackets around this bit. So if the health is below 0, it'll call the routine zombie dies. All that does is set an animation sequence of dead, and then 5 seconds later it'll destroy the game object. Seems to be alright. I've got a feeling it may not work, but we're going to call it externally. So this is the AI behavior. So in player is if the transform hit, we've already got it here, bang, if this is your zombie, then, now do we have a link to the zombie? No, we don't. We're going to have to create a link to the zombie, aren't we? But there might be mode 1 zombie, so we're going to have to do it the other way. We'll have lots of zombies, because we could have multiple zombies. How do I do that? Give me a second to think about that. Right, we're going to do a bit of complicated code in this. We're going to be calling, because there's going to be multiple zombies at some stage, we want to basically access them lots and lots of different ways. So if that is true, hang on a minute, we're going to use this code here. It's going to be code. I'm just going to type it in Alex, but AI behavior, and we're creating a temporary variable called AIB. Hit. So what we're doing is we're creating a temporary variable called AIB, and that will access the variable take damage. It's going to access that in the zombie script, but this does it in a way without really worrying about how many zombies are in play at that moment. It would just access the one that we hit, because that's why it's linked with hit info, because you don't want to get all the zombies hit, you just want to get the hit that the zombie that you actually hit. Info, I've spelled that right. So dot transform dot name. So there's the zombie that we hit. We just want that one to take the damage, and it's obviously the game object it is in. Game object dot get component. So we're getting component. We're getting this funny business again. Let me just close out of this. I'm going to put this in there, and that's going to be AI behavior. So copy that. That is a bit of complicated code. I am aware of that. Basically, this line here, what this line says is, for the zombie that we hit, which is that game object, we want to access the script AI behavior with it. We're going to create a temporary variable called AIB, and then AIB, we're going to call that variable we just created from the zombie, only the zombie don't. I'm going to call this routine take damage. If that makes any sense to you. So, we've got funny little messages coming up. I think I've spelt it right. Oh, yeah. Well, obviously, that goes there. I was rather silly of me to do that. And get component. There's an N missing there. Game object, yes. Hit info. I think that should be alright. Read of that. Check the spelling of that. Here we go. Still whinging about it. Hit info. Oh, I've missed an important bit called and equals. Rather silly word. Now what's this bit here? Info transform. I don't need the word name. I just need transform. There we go. So hit info.transform.gameObject. Get the component of AI. Yeah, that's worked. Whew. Thank you very much. I don't want to see that. What's happening here? Hit the zombie. And it... Oh! That worked. Oh my god, that worked. Sometimes you get shocked when something actually works. So it actually worked. Hurt it. But we didn't... One thing we didn't see is the bullets. So we need to spawn some bullets now. So that bit worked beautifully. We need to do this instant. We're going to do something called instantiate. There's one bit of code I forgot completely about. And I'm going to just literally copy and paste this. And then I'll explain it after I've done it. So we've got hit marker. Now hang on a minute. Where's hit marker? Have we got a link to it? No, it's not underscore. Why have I put underscore? I don't know. So basically we're going to instantiate, in other words, we're going to create an instance of the hit marker object at the point we've just shot at. Pointing in the right direction as well, hopefully. So let's have a look. Well, can you see? Like a puffs of smoke. I don't know why I'm struggling. I'm shooting the zombie. Shooting him. Oh, and he dies. And he vanishes. And there's no one else to shoot at. But I've run out of bullets. There you are. Oh my god, it works. Anyway, so this is Teacher Wayne. A bit surprised that I've actually got my code working. And thank you very much for listening. And goodbye for now. And please like and subscribe.